Hello friends, you're welcome. This is Basil World Academy. This channel is all about giving you the best tips and guidelines that will harness the potentials in you as a student and channel you to success in all areas of your academic endeavors. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, share and hit the notification bell for more updates and information. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 10 best interview tips for the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship. Remember that Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship has series of processes that one has to go through before finally being awarded the scholarship. And immediately after being nominated from the various countries and partners with Hungary Higher Education, the next step is the interviews by the various universities. It is expected of you to know what you need to prepare yourself for this stage of the scholarship process. Without wasting our time, I want to quickly share these best 10 interview questions that one should be expecting during the interview process. The first question that usually comes to play during the interview process is introducing yourself, and how do you introduce yourself properly. And in this process of introducing yourself, you will have to mention your name, your country, mention your age. You also have to mention your previous academic backgrounds. Of course, you have to also mention your working experiences and the skills you've acquired from your previous works. Also, you have to mention your passion or your objective, which is driving you for the studies that you're aspiring to go for. The second question, why did you choose this university, is a very popular question that comes during this interview process. And there are a lot of ways you can approach this, but the basic thing you need to do is for you to quickly do a thorough research on the university, just like you also did when you wrote the motivational letters. So in this case, you have to mention specifically what you like about the university based on your research. It could be based on their previous or high reputation in education or in research. It could be based on international recognition. It could be based on vast community of international environment within the university. Now, it could also be that the university is ranked highly among other various institutions in Hungary. So in my own case, I chose the University of PH because that was the only university that was offering the course I was interested in. It's also a good bonus if you can mention the course you have selected, why you selected the course in that university, and what are the motivational factors within this university environment that aligns with your studies and your career. The third question that could come, which is however related to the second question, which is about the university, is why did you choose this faculty? Why did you choose this course, and why did you choose this program? So the same way you researched for the university is also the same way you will still go deep down into the faculty requirement. Find out what are the course modules, what are the research interests that aligns with yours, and then you can use it to answer this question. Specifically, you can mention the research interests. You can also mention some of the course modules that the faculty offer. Also mention some student opportunities within this faculty. You can also mention some professors or lecturers who are actually doing a research in your field of study or your area of interest. Also mention if there are facilities, maybe you are studying in an engineering course or medical course. You can also mention some innovations within the faculty, the laboratories, research environment. The purpose of them asking you this question is for them to ascertain if you have an in-depth knowledge about the faculty and the course of study. The fourth question is, why did you choose this course as a second choice? Of course, you know that when you were applying at the Stipendium Hungaricum portal, you have opportunity of choosing two courses, which is the first choice and the second choice. Now, it's possible sometimes you can also be offered an interview for your second choice university or your second choice of course. So they want to know why you chose that course as your second choice. That what they actually want to know here is if this course of study is actually aligned with your interest, not just because you chose them as a second priority. You don't have to answer this question based on the fact that you're not interested in your second choice, but however, you are supposed to also answer this question based on the way you answered the previous one, which was why did you choose this program, why did you choose this faculty. So why did you choose this course as a second choice? Could be that it also aligns with your interest, even though that you have a better priority, which was your first choice, but also has to do with your area of interest, which probably you may not be able to neglect. You can also go ahead and mention some specifics about this course of study that you have chosen as your second choice. You can mention some of the facilities they have in the department. You can mention some of the course modules that they have within this course that aligns with your interest. You can also mention some areas you want to work with this course of study in your future career goals. Also mention some lecturer and some research environment that quite interests you within this faculty or program that you have also chosen. Don't also forget to mention some of the reputations of this university or the course or the faculty you've chosen as your second choice, because it will help them to know that even though you have a better priority, that choosing them as a second option is not by chance or by coincidence, that you actually have an important reason or important reasons why you chose it as your second choice. The fifth question I want to mention here is, what do you know about Hungary? You cannot claim that you want to study in a country without knowing anything about the country. It's a very popular question during the interview stage. What are you expected to say? Of course, you should do a research and know the country where you are aspiring to study. What is their research interest and how does it align to yours? You can also mention the ranking of Hungary education and research in comparison to other European universities. There are a lot of things you can mention about Hungary. You can mention about the academic excellence. You can also mention about the research environment. You can also quickly mention about the international community in Hungary. Of course, you know that Hungary attracts a lot of students from every nook and crannies of the world. At least they have about 86 partner countries. So you should be expecting to have a good and well-nourished international environment. So that's a good point to also mention here. You can also mention some other cultures in Hungary which quite interest you. Of course, you do your research, you'll be able to discover that Hungary, they have their cultures, and you can also mention some of them. They have very nice tourist centers. For example, the capital city. What do you know about the capital city, which is Budapest? So these are the things you have to mention. They have interesting rivers, they have interesting lakes. And what do you know about the divisions of Hungary? Which other counties do you know in Hungary? You can also quickly mention some of the Nobel Prizes. There are a lot of Nobel Prizes from Hungary. You can also quickly mention that. Then you can also mention about the safety of the country. A lot of international students here. So since you're coming from your own country, you also have to be sure that you are safe where you want to go and study. I think when you mention this for them, it will convince them that you are actually aware of where you are coming to study. It's a very popular question, so please take note. The sixth question, which is sometimes very popular too, but you might be asked, tell us what you are most proud of about yourself. Here you can mention maybe 2 or 3 things that you have actually achieved. It could be maybe an award you got while you were in bachelor's or your master's. It could be a training where you acquired some skills and it really helped you in life. It could be that you served as a mentor to someone and outrightly the person became successful in his or her own career. So here the basic goal is for you to mention one thing you're very proud of that you've achieved, and then from here you can also mention some of the strengths that helped you to achieve that, what propelled you to achieve that, and how will this achievement help you to achieve more even while studying in Hungary. The seventh question, which is also very popular within the confines of this interview, is tell us about your goal. It's very popular. So here I think you have to be very specific, you have to be very precise, you have to try as much as possible to divide your goals into short-term, medium-term and long-term goals. For your immediate goals, you can mention what you want to quickly do between 0 to about 1 year after your studies. You can also mention some of your long-term goals, which is approximately between 5 to 10 years or more, depending on your career path. So mention some of the things you want to achieve on a long-term goal. For example, a lot of people will say in the next 10 years I want to be a professor. In the next 10 years I want to be the head of non-governmental organizations. In the next 10 years I want to have this position. And they're not just mentioning about being a leader in one organization or the other. How would you want to impact using the knowledge you have acquired during your studies? However, this question can also come in a different way, like, tell us, where do you think you will be in the next 10 years? Where do you think you will be in the next 15 years? Where do you think you will be in the next 5 years? So these questions can take a little bit of twist, but basically the answers are the same. The eighth question, which is also part of the questions you should be expecting, is, do you have previous experiences in your field? The question is very direct, and as a matter of fact, if you do, you can quickly say, yes, I do, and you mention the place where you've worked, the experiences you have, and the skills you've also acquired during this period where you had previous experiences. If you do not have any previous experiences, you can quickly say no, and that is the reason why you're going for this study, to be able to work in this place and get enough experiences to work in that career path in the future. The skills you've acquired during this period and how it will help you to facilitate your studies and your learning. The ninth question, which is basically one of the most important reasons why they conduct this interview. However, remember that most of the Hungarian higher education and institutions, they require B2 level of English. So one of the primary aim of conducting these interviews is also to test your English level. So when you are speaking, be confident, be specific, and go direct to the point. This question can come in this way: how do you see your English level? Apparently they want you to tell them how you are able to communicate in English. Here you can mention that you communicate effectively in English. You can also mention that your bachelor's degrees or your previous studies was taught entirely in English, where you were examined in English, both in written forms and in oral forms. You can also mention that you have basic knowledge of English in reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Now, probably if you have worked in an environment or in a company, or probably you have been in an organization where English language is the basic medium of communication and interaction, you can also mention that. Also, if you have written any English exams and you've passed, this is a very good place where you can mention your score from that English test. The 10th and the last question is also very, very important question. The question can be asked in this way: why do you think you deserve a scholarship? Very tricky, but you have to give an answer to this. Remember that for you to win any scholarship, you have to be passionate, you have to be dedicated, and you have to be hardworking. So these are the things they want to see you mention when this question is being asked. You can quickly mention your experiences in your previous background and transform these basic things you've said and make them to look very personal to you and very outstanding. Also mention how passionate you are, how dedicated you are. Also mention that getting this scholarship is a big challenge for you, which you are ready to take up if being granted the opportunity. They are looking for motivated and dedicated individuals. Yeah, this sums up the 10 questions that you should be expecting during the Stipendium Hungaricum interview questions from the universities. And there are other questions that could be like a sub questions from the others, like questions like tell us about your strengths and your weaknesses, tell us about your leadership experiences, and also be asked about your previous theses in your bachelor's and your master's. You can also be asked questions on your priorities and what you read daily, what motivates you on a daily basis. Having mentioned all these questions, my earnest desire for you is that you should go and study these questions and make these questions suitable for yourself, the way it fits into your career path and into your objectives. And when you do that, the interview process is going to be very smooth for you. I wish you success and I wish you a smooth interview in the coming months for the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, share and hit the notification bell for more updates and information as regards your studies. I wish you success. See you in the next video.